Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today is another viewer requested review, which has been a while. Today we're reviewing the New Mutants, which is a 2020 superhero slash horror fantasy movie, which is directed by Josh Boone, who hasn't really done, anything special. So this movie's budget was according to Google, was somewhere between 67 to 80 million dollars, which is pretty funny because this movie's like a bottleneck movie. Only really has maybe one or two locations. So, and it only made like $46.9 million in the box office, unfortunately. But they got my $7 today, which it's for HD, and the HD didn't work. There was no HD option, so I had to watch it in 480. So I'm kind of a little pissed off about that. That won't interfere with my review. So the movie stars Anya-Joy as Ilana Rasputin as Magic, who wasn't part of the original New Mutants team. She's replacing Karma, which was a Vietnamese girl. But though she was in the original comic book, you got Macy Williams as Rain Sinclair, aka Wolfbane in the comic book. Blue Hunt as Danielle Moonstar as Mirage, whose name in the superhero name in the comic book was called Psyche or Psyche. Charlie Heaton as Sam Guthrie, aka Cannonball. Henry Saga as Roberto, aka Sunspot. And Alice Braga as Cecilia Reyes. And Adam Beach plays Blue Hunt's father in the movie. So this movie is about this facility that, takes new mutants and try to teach them how to control their powers. And if they're lucky, they can leave and join the Xavier Institute. Or can they? So the main character of the movie is like Danielle Moonstar, who's a Native American girl who, in the beginning of the movie, her reservation gets destroyed in the middle of the night, and she wakes up and is woken up by the Doctor character, whose powers in the movie is also mutant, who creates barriers, which has surrounded the facility they live in with this barrier, right? And she can do other stuff with those barrier powers as well. So Danielle Moonstar, kind of gets bullied by Magic. She doesn't know what her powers are. She starts to develop a relationship with Maisie Williams' character, Rain Sinclair. And, they get a little romance going on in the movie, which, at one point they're watching Buffy, and there's one of the lesbian scenes with the girl from American Pie and the other girl from Attack of the Griffin, which is a medieval fantasy movie that chick was in, which I have it somewhere. I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna review it for our next Fantasy Month review reviews. And the other characters' powers are Rain Sinclair. Sorry, that's her name. She can turn into a wolf and half wolf hybrid. Magic, just like her brother, can turn her arm like metal, kinda, which it takes the shape of medieval armor, and she can wield a flaming sword, and she has a puppet called Lockheed, which she can turn into a dragon, and she can kind of teleport. And Sam Guthrie's powers, he can kinetically charge himself, and he can make himself fly through the air like a cannonball, hence the cannonball name. And Sunspot can superheat his body and become basically like a black and red version of Human Torch, but he can't shoot fireballs, right?
but he can, punch really hard and can make himself kind of invulnerable, right? So like the main drama in the movie is our characters who are all troubled because of their mutant powers have accidentally killed people they love, some intentionally, some unintentionally, and they get haunted by these visions that are turned real and they attack them, right? Some of the enemies in the movie are these smiley men, which are like super tall and lengthy, which remind me of the smooth man from Faust, which there's similar thing. Like this movie kind of rips off from Faust, which is a Brian Yuzna superhero horror movie as well. Well, Brian Yuzna didn't direct this movie, but like, you know, yeah. So there's also a giant bear at the end, which our characters have to fight and defeat, right? So my problems with the movie are, one, did not like the anti-religious themes, didn't like how dumb our characters are, because it's not till the end of the movie do they realize, oh, if we want to get out of here, we just have to kill Cecilia Reyes, she is a villain in the movie, right? Spoiler alert. Because obviously, if you, like, mutant superpowers dissipate when they die, so obviously that would be a quick fix to get rid of the stupid barrier around the stupid energy dome around the building, which for some reason doesn't suffocate them, right? Air can still come in, which which at one point in the movie, Cecilia Reyes attacks everybody and tries to suffocate them with her barrier powers, which, I'm just saying that was a little dumb. And just like overall, I just not a fan of CGI monsters in movies, which is probably where most of the money went, I'm guessing. Which, the CGI monsters did look cool, design wise, but was not a fan. Though I thought that most of the actors did a good job. The main star of the movie, Danielle Moonstar's actor Blue Hunt, I thought her acting was pretty bad, especially that monologue she gives at the beginning of the movie, which, like, she says a bunch of shit that doesn't make sense. But I guess they were like saving it till the end, where, like, because she tells this story about these two bears. One, like, everybody has two bears, one good one and one bad one, right? And, like, she's saying that, like, her dad, like, she was too scared to sleep at night as a kid, and her dad told her the story about the evil bear everybody has in their head, in their bodies or whatever. And it's only till, like, the final line in the movie does that story make sense, right? Which the final line in this movie, which bear is stronger, the good bear or the bad bear? And, like, it's the bear you feed. Okay. Right. So I don't know. Overall, I'm probably gonna give this movie a 6 out of 10. It's worth watching at least once, but other than that, I did not find the movie enjoyable. I had to pause it several times, right? So, which, because this movie was kind of boring at times, but if you're a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you would probably enjoy this movie, because this movie kind of reminded me a lot of, like, something Joss Whedon would write, which he has written X-Men comic books. The X-Men Astonished series, which I've only read the first book, which got, like, a motion comic, series of DVDs, which I almost picked up once, but I didn't. So I don't know. Like, check this out if you feel like it, but again, it's like $7 to rent the movie, which is, like, a little overpriced to rent, in my opinion, because that's, like, that pretty much pays for, like, half the movie, like, honestly. Yeah, so that yeah, if
if you like, check out my other stuff, and you like my stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my review of the first New Mutants comic book, which I reviewed, right, on the channel, and I actually own the first issue, which I bought like a decade ago, and it turns out I looked it up to see how much it was worth now, which I bought for really cheap back in the day. It turns out it's worth like $50, which, you know, maybe I'll hold on to it and see if it grows in price. You know, it probably will if there's more sequels. So to this movie, so like maybe guys do check out the movie and, you know, get them to pay back their fucking budget, which like I think I said in the review, it costs like somewhere between 67 to 80 million, and they only made like less than 50 million back. So, all right, guys, later, peace.